Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is New Year's Eve and I thought what better day to talk about setting intentions and what that is, what affirmations are, and invite you guys to do a meditation with me and sort of ponder on an affirmation or an intention of yours. And I just think that's the best way to kind of go into the new year. Sometimes it's really hard when we set really specific goals for ourselves. It's a lot of pressure to meet those goals, those deadlines. And goals do need to be very specific. They need to have specifics like deadlines and ways that you're going to achieve those goals, because that really helps you get to that goal. Intentions and affirmations are a little bit different. Your intention is your power behind what you're trying to do. Two people can say the same thing, the exact same sentence, and their intention behind it can be different, and that's what gives it meaning. Same with actions. Two people can do the exact same thing, the exact same action, but the intention, what they wanted to achieve with that action or those words, may be different, and that completely changes, what is said or what that action is, even if they are the same thing. So intentions are powerful because they are from our soul's urge. It's our soul drive. They align with our passions and our desires. And sometimes we have intentions that don't line up with our actions. And that's just natural. Obviously, we have intentions to be our best at all times, and sometimes we don't live up to what we may think makes us our best. So affirmations are really powerful ways, just a quick little sentence that kind of wraps up an intention, and repeating these affirmations to yourself, these sentences to yourself, makes them an affirmation. It's something you are affirming to yourself, confirming, if you will. It's, something that we may have within us already, or it may be something we're trying to pull out of us. So an affirmation will always follow an intention. And I'm going to give you an example to kind of, make this make more sense. If my intention is to be a better person to myself, I have to think about what that means. What is it to be a better person to myself? Do I want to have more self-care? Do I need to set more boundaries? What is it exactly? So I'm pinpointing that thing. For me, I don't know. I have a few. I've got so many, actually. I could actually look at my board here. Sometimes I feel guilty about doing the things that I feel that I need to do for myself. So to combat that feeling and, I want to set an intention to feel more, free to do what I want, or to feel, not guilty for doing what I want. So an affirmation to help me set that intention, and I have this written on my board over here, is, "It is my birthright to live fully and freely." Another one that follows that same intention, which is a different affirmation, is, "I now and always choose to live freely." So what I invite you guys to do right now is think for a second, what is an intention that you have for yourself for this year? And I don't mean a goal. I don't mean something specific like you want to get a job. I'm talking sort of like general things for yourself. Nothing outside of yourself. We're talking about things that you can give yourself and create for yourself. So your intention could be to make more time for yourself. It could be to be nicer to other people. It could be to have more patience. Whatever that is, you're going to pick it. And I want you to pinpoint, what your intention is with that. Why do you want to be more patient or more kind? And we're going to think of an affirmation for that. So I'm going to think of one for myself right now. I'm just going to take a second to do it. You guys can do the same. Pause the video if you need an extra second. And when we have our intention, what we want for ourselves, and we think of an affirmation that's going to help us feel that. And like I said, these affirmations, like the one I read to you, I now and always choose to live freely. Maybe sometimes when I repeat that affirmation to myself, I don't feel that right now. I don't feel that I'm choosing to live freely. And that's maybe why I pull out that affirmation. So when you're saying this to yourself, even if it's contrary to what you're feeling in that moment, you're saying it from a place of that is your intention. You're setting that intention. I now choose, even if 2 seconds ago I wasn't choosing this, I now choose to live fully and freely. So I'm going to take a second to just think about my intention. What is my intention for this year coming? What do I want the most for myself? That I can achieve by myself or with myself. Something you can give to yourself. And once you have it, it may just be a simple word. I want to be more. I want to do this more. I want to have more. We're going to think of an affirmation that affirms that intention, as if you already have that, as if you already are that. What would you say to yourself? So I'll give you a second to come up with yours. And it takes some time sometimes to figure out the wiring in your brain that's going to get you to understand and feel that intention. So take a second. And really try to make it specific to yourself. And when you have your affirmation, I want to jump us into a little meditation. So I want to make it a 7-minute meditation. I did a series of 30-day mindfulness challenge series where we did 5-minute meditations. And sometimes I found that just at the end of that 5 minutes is where I really started to get the hang of that flow. So I'm going to make this a 7-minute meditation, give us an extra 2 minutes to just soak in that intention. I'll share mine with you, my intention and my affirmation, so that you have an idea of what we're doing, but I hope you can use your own. If mine works for you and you can't come up with your own, by all means use it. You can also do a quick little Google search of affirmations that have to do with what it is that your intention is. And if one of those resonate with you, you can use that. So just pause the video and find that if you need. My intention for the year 2021 for myself is to be more humble and have more humility. So what that looks like for me would be listening before speaking, taking an extra moment to pause and reflect before judging. And I'm pretty good at those things, but I think those are the things that for me I want to improve on the most. So when we have intentions, it doesn't always mean this is the thing that we need to work on the most. It's just the thing that's the most important to us in this particular moment. So my affirmation is I allow space for others and for time as it needs to be, as well as my own. So something like that. It's, for me, repeating the sentence over and over in my head as I meditate is kind of can be a distraction, but that's just for me. Sometimes it is awesome to just sit with that thought in your head and repeat it over and over. I now choose to live fully and freely, you know. For me right now, it's really hard for me to put into words what exactly my affirmation is. And that's why I talked about intentions, because affirmations really support our intentions. They're sort of the language behind our intention. And sometimes it's really hard to put that into words. I just tried to for you guys, but in my head, it exists very abstractly as a concept that I can grasp, but is very hard for me to put into words. And that's just because it's very personal to me, and I'm sure if I sat down and thought on it, I could figure it out. But for now, the way that I'm going to be holding on to this intention and this affirmation is just holding that in my heart, sort of in that abstract space in my mind, where I understand what that intention is. And if that works for you, if your intention, if you just completely understand your intention and you can just sit with that feeling, do that. And if you come up with a sentence that really explains that intention and helps you understand it, sit with that thought. So mine is, like I said, something to the effect of I allow space and time for others, and I allow space for others, I allow space for time to pass as it needs to, and I allow for more patience in myself. So these are the intentions and the affirmations I'm going to be sitting on. I hope you guys have yours. If you don't, pause this and find it. And I'm going to go ahead and start that 7-minute timer and give us 7 juicy minutes of setting that intention for ourselves for this next year, and trusting that when we give ourselves a moment to reflect on what we want for ourselves, that we don't need to think about it every second of the day. Once we set that intention, it's in our hearts, and, you know, our spirits can kind of carry that out through us, almost like a parasympathetic response, like our nervous system. One that, like for those who don't know what parasympathetic nervous system is, it's the part of our nervous system that we don't have to tell it what to do. We don't have to tell our heart to beat. We don't have to tell our lungs to breathe. I don't have to tell my Italian hand to move as I'm explaining things. This is just all a part of our parasympathetic system. I don't know if that last one was, actually. But, you know, when we set an intention and we hold this powerfully with ourselves, you know, we can trust ourselves to move through that in our lives much more than if we don't trust ourselves and, you know, worry that we need to continuously remind ourselves. So cut yourself some slack, give yourself a break. I'm not telling you that, you know, you need to spend the rest of your life saying, I now live fully and freely, I now live fully and freely. Sometimes just meditating on these thoughts every now and again is exactly what we need to reinstill that belief in us, those practices that will actually get us there. So even if you don't know what they are, take that time, set that intention, and trust that you will carry it out. So I'm going to stop blabbing. I'm going to start this timer. Sit with your intention for 2021. you can slowly allow yourself to come out of your meditation. As always, take a second to thank yourself for doing that, for taking some time for yourself, and for setting some powerful intentions for yourself. And I want to thank you guys, obviously, for joining me for this meditation, listening to me chat about this stuff. It's stuff that I need reminders for. It's stuff that I still practice and need to practice. And, we can all benefit from that practice of really paying attention and tracking our intentions and setting powerful intentions when we want to make powerful change. So on that note, Happy New Year, everyone. I genuinely hope you make the most out of your 2020 for yourself, whatever that means. And don't let anyone tell you what that means. Take your 2020 by the horns and do you. So, love you all, take care, and thanks for watching.